Oh, another day of the walk down. Yeah, Monday. Nice and hot today. I think it's around 88, 85. You don't know what it's want to do. Want to be hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. No matter what, guess what? We out. Taking it one day at a time. Yeah, that's all you got to do. One day. Okay, that day is done. Take it one day at a time. And build up days consecutive. And just keep going. Yeah, nice, beautiful day out here, man. Nice, beautiful day. We're in the 80s today. We way in the 80s. Hey, Mimi, how you doing? How you doing? Hope your day is going great. It's 85, close to 88 degrees out here. One day is cold, next day is hot. One day is cold, next day is hot. It's hot today. Almost feel like it's summertime again. Man, what you still got, I just got to take it one day at a time. That's one day at a time on this Monday. Oh, it's pouring out, raining down there. Man, I wish it was raining here. I thought the heat was over with. And the heat came right back. Man. But other than that, nice, pretty sunny day. The dogs are barking. The birds are chirping. You know, everything's going good. Just taking it one day at a time. There's another episode of the Walk Down. This is episode 6. Just take it one day at a time. That's all you got to do. One day at a time. Consecutive days. You got a 90-day run. You got a 6-month run. You got a 1-year run. You got a 5-year run. You got a 10-year run. You got to take it one day at a time. Yep, one day at a time. One day at a time. One day you feel like you don't want to do it. Guess what? It's mind over matter. It ain't nothing but the devil trying to hold you down. Just take it one day at a time. Once you get out and get to the task, and when the task is over, you feel much better. Man, I completed the day. Now I get ready for the next day. On and on and on and on, and so forth like that. Yeah, it's one day at a time. That's how you do it, one day at a time. 1 week at a time. 1 month at a time. One year at a time. Take it day by day, like the song say. Gotta take it day by day. God wake you up. Pray. You know what I'm saying? Get ready, prepare yourself for the day. Put plenty of water in your body. And get ready to rock and roll. Yeah, we ready to rock and roll around here. Yeah. How y'all doing out there? I'm your host, Stock Sniper. I'm your host. Out here just kicking it. All y'all just now tapping in. Hit that like button for me. We just taking it one day at a time, man. We got two more weeks left before this year's over. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to kick in 2025. It's already here for me. I started 2025 a month ago. I had to get a head start, man. Head start. So when that clock turn and that sucker say 2025 January 1st, it's already January 1st in my mind. Yeah, it's already January 1st. Just take it day by day. If you're struggling, or if you're starting a new job, if you're just starting school, whatever it is, you got to take it one day at a time. If you're struggling, to get up and put the work in every single day, you got to take it day by day, and you got to start one day at a time. One day at a time. Yeah, you got to keep going. One day at a time. Yeah, today is Monday. Shout out to everybody that got up and went to work this morning and made them a little bit of change. Shout out to everybody that's still at work. There's still a lot of people that's still at work. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that's still at work right now. Keep on going. This is the beginning of the week. Day 1, Monday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, get you a good night rest, eat you a good breakfast, and God dog me, pray to God, and go out and put the work in. Appreciate y'all for joining me, rocking with me. I am your host, the Stock Sniper, and this is episode 6 of the Walk Down. Right. And today's episode is take it one day at a time. That's all. That is my advice of the day. You got to take it one day at a time, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to rebuke the laziness. You got to rebuke it and take it one day at a time. Because life is a marathon. It ain't a sprint. You got to take your time, you know what I'm saying? And you got to take it day by day. Yeah, you got to take it day by day. One day at a time. Because, you know, sometimes we want to skip days. Sometimes we don't even want to go to work or to school, or we want to do, etc., or whatever. But you got to go out and do it anyway. You got to take it day by day. And when you finish the day, mark that day off. If that day was green, you check it off green. The next day, you started the process all over again. When you, at the end of the day, check it off green and keep on going. Is respected. How do I get out of this dark place I'm in? Well, Reaper Lord, man, you got to pray. You got to pray. Sometimes you got to isolate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what your circle is. If you're around the same old circle that's thinking like that, you got to separate yourself. You got to get away from that circle. And you got to start praying, and you got to change your mind. You know what I'm saying? You got to change your mind. You got to tell yourself that you want to get out of that dark place. And you got to put in steps, the proper steps, and you got to put the work in to get out of that dark place. Yeah. It's hard work, though. I was at a dark place one time, but I had to realize that's the first step. You have realized you're in a dark place. Now what you gonna do about it? When I was in that dark place, I realized I was in that dark place, and I said, I don't want to be here. And I said, I don't want to be here. And guess what I had to do? I had to isolate myself. I had to change the people that I was hanging around. You know what I'm saying? I got to hang around people that's in the light. And I got to start praying and meditating. I had to stop listening to all that rap music. I had to stop watching all that negative stuff on TV. I had to actually get down and put the work in to work on myself. That's what you got to do. You got to work on yourself. May God bless you, and I hope you get out of that dark place. Man, it's a hard thing to be in the dark place. But the first step of redemption is acknowledging you in that dark place. Now you got to do is change your mind. And I'm here to tell you, ain't nothing more powerful than to change mind. Ain't nothing more powerful than to change mind. Once you change your mind, man, once you change your mind, that's the first step. Well, that's the second step. The first step is you got to realize you don't want to be in that situation no more. Once you realize you don't want to be in that situation no more, the next step is you got to change your mind. And then you got to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? You actually got to retrain your mind. Retrain your thoughts. Retrain your actions. You know what I'm saying? And you have to want to do that. And get around people that's in the light. Don't be around nobody that's in the dark. You know what I'm saying? And take it one day at a time. Yeah, one day at a time. Whatever it is, you got to take it one day at a time. And you got to be patient. And you got to work on it. And you got to want that more than you want to breathe. If you want to get out of that darkness more than you want to breathe, you get out of that darkness. But you got to put the work in, and you have to hang around and be around people, positive people that's in the light. Yeah, I hope that helps you out, man. I hope that helps you out. Well, yeah, I was in that darkness for a while. I had to get out of it. But first thing I had to realize it. Once I realized it, I had to change people, places, and things. Sometimes you got to move. You got to move all the way around from all negativity and surround it and reprogram your mind and your heart and your body with positivity. You got to get away from them dark people. You got to hang around people that's in the light, and you got to pray. You got to make it a daily routine. You got to pray every single day, and you also got to help other people, because sometimes we're gonna get out of that darkness by helping other people. You know what I'm saying? Go out and help somebody. You'll start feeling good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? You might not feel emotions of it the first time, but if you practice helping others, it does something to your subconscious mind. And then that negative energy and that dark spirit will get away, and you start feeling better about yourself. That's all you gotta do. Yeah, that's what I did. I had to cut everybody off, man. I had to cut them off. I don't care who it is. It's my mama, my daddy, my brother, sister. I don't care who it is. It could be my own flesh and blood kids. If you negative and you in the darkness, and I'm in the darkness too, and you ain't trying to change like me, oh man, I got to go in a whole new direction. Even if it means I got to be isolated by myself. Let me say that again. Even if it means, because sometimes we be in the darkness and everybody that we're around is negative and in the darkness and don't want to come to the light. Sometimes you got to realize, okay, I got to do this on my own. And that's the best time sometimes. You do it on your own. You know what I'm saying? Because once you want it bad enough, guess what? Then you will be successful at whatever it is that you want to do. But you gotta isolate yourself. You gotta change the way you think. Ain't nothing more powerful than to change mind. What's up, ATM Till? Yeah, ain't nothing more powerful than to change mind. Nothing's more powerful than to change mind. I don't care what nobody say. Once you change your mind, that's all it takes. I wouldn't care if sometimes them people gonna be upset with you. Them people that you in the darkness with, yeah, they'll get upset and they'll hate on you. They'll say you changed. They'll say all type of evil stuff against you to try to get you to cut. Because one thing that I've learned from being on this earth for 51 years, that crabs in a barrel mentality, yeah, they'll try to put you right back in that barrel. Yeah, yes, they will. And they'll try to embarrass you. They'll try to make it hard for you. You know what I'm saying? But then you got to say, hey, I changed my mind and I ain't finna be around y'all no more. That's all you got to do. And start hanging around people that's in the light. People that want something out of life. Yeah, but you have recognized that you want to get out of that darkness. That's the first step. You got to want to do it. That's the first step. The second step, you got to change your mind. And like I say, I can't say that enough. There's nothing more powerful than a changed mind. Nothing. I don't care what it is. Once you change your mind, your negative family members, your negative friends, whatever the case may be, they can't affect once you change your mind, none of that. They can't affect you at all. You just got to realize, once you realize that you change your mind, then you start putting it to yourself. You start feeding your mind. You start feeding your body. You start feeding your spirit. Sometimes it could be the things you eat that keep you in that negative, dark state of mind. Trust me, listen to the OG. Sometimes it be what you put in your body. You know what I'm saying? So you got to analyze your whole situation. That's what I had to do. I had to analyze everything, bro. I had to analyze everything and everybody that I was socializing with. And I had to put the work in to do it. But guess what I had? I had the power of a changed mind. Once I said, it goes with relationships. It goes with anything. Once you change your mind, ain't no going back to that cheating. Ain't no going back to that cheating husband or that cheating wife or that negative. Every time you're with your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever, they always cussing. They don't want to stop smoking and drinking every single day. They don't want to work. That spirit of laziness, all that. Once you change your mind, all that is a turnoff then. And then all you got to do is go the opposite way. Go the opposite way. You know, sometimes you got to change your phone number. Sometimes you got to move from the city that you in. Sometimes you got to do that, man. But you got to want it bad enough. You got to want it bad. Real bad. And it ain't gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be trials and tribulations on the road to changing. You know what I'm saying? And the devil gonna throw all kind of alley-oops at you to try to get you to backslide. You know what I'm saying? To try to get you to go back into that darkness. Oh yeah, that devil is something else, man. Yeah, that devil is something else. That devil know the Bible. And I know the Bible like the back of his hand. And they make it sound good. You know what I'm saying? The devil, man, that devil know the Bible better, real well. Yeah, and he'll word it and put it in a phrase that'll make you think that that's what is really said in the Bible. Yeah, that's why you got to know for yourself. You got to know. And knowing comes by doing. Yeah, researching, reading, living, hanging around the right people, having the right OGs in your life that's gonna guide you in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna give you some game and some knowledge. Not the type of OGs that 50 years old and still want to be in the street. I'm not talking about them. Nah, I ain't talking about them. So I hope that helps you out if you're still in here. But that's the goal of this channel. That is the goal of this channel, to try to help, inspire you. Sometimes, you know, people don't know what to do when they're in darkness. Don't know how to come out of it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't easy. Listen to the OG. But the first step is once you recognize you don't want to be in that darkness no more. This is with anything. If you're smoking cigarettes, if you're drinking alcohol, if whatever the case may be, once you realize you don't want to do it no more, once you realize that it's wrong, you know what I'm saying? Once you realize you don't want to live that life no more, even running the streets. Once you realize, man, this ain't even cool what I'm doing, man. Ain't no future in this. Once you change your mind, it's a wrap. Yep, once you really change your mind, it's a wrap. Listen to the OG. You gotta want to change. You gotta want it though, and take it day by day, like the message of episode 6. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're trying to get over, even, you know what I'm saying, there's probably some positive things going on. Just take it day by day, and realize there's gonna be some days there's gonna be a hiccup. As an example, I get out here, I run 4 miles a day and walk another 1.5 miles. Some days I don't want to do it, bro. Some days, you know, I just my mind say, oh man, just that spirit of laziness be trying to get on me. You know what I'm saying? But then I had to say, oh, now I got to battle with that spirit of laziness and put it in the triangle choke and choke it out and get up and get to moving. And then once I get up and get to moving, it's all in the mind, bro. It's all in the mind. Yeah, it's all in the mind. Because sometimes you know you're supposed to do this. You want to get up to go. You're supposed to get up at work at 6 o'clock, and that alarm clock go off at 5, and then you hit the snooze button. Oh man, I don't want to go to this, you know, wherever. But then you realize, hey, that's that negative spirit, that negative spirit on you. Laziness spirit. That's one of those. That laziness spirit is one of the hardest habits to kick. Somebody that's lazy, woo. I ain't see, man. I told a grown man, bro, you got to go get a job, homie. You expect your situation to change? You got to get a job. Guess what he did when I said that, y'all? Guess what he did when he was told that? He started crying like a baby. He started crying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that spirit of laziness is on him so hard, he started crying to the words of, you got to get a job, man. You got responsibilities. You got things you got to take care of. You got kids, brother. You need to get up and get a job and stay on the job. You got responsibilities. Guess what happened? He started crying. Straight up. That spirit of laziness is to the core. Once that spirit, and I know that too. So man, every time some will say, well, you could put it off till tomorrow or whatever, man, I conquer it with speed. Oh, now that whenever that come to my mind, guess what I do? That's the key in my back to get up. Whenever that comes in my mind. When I'm running my 4 miles, sometimes I be like, man, just go on and stop. You know what I'm saying? That's enough. Man, you ain't got to run no 4 miles a day, man. You do it every single day. When I say that, guess what I do to myself? Whenever that comes into my mind, I punish my own self. Because I know I'm supposed to do the 4 miles. Then I get halfway through, and then my mind try to tell me to stop, right? Something will come in and say, man, go on, end the day. But guess what I do? I punish myself. Whenever something negative come in my head, I punish myself. I let my brain and my subconscious mind and the elements of the universe, I let myself know in my inner soul, bro, it's consequences. When something negative come inside of your subconscious mind or even in your spirit. And I gotta pay for that. I do that every time. That's how I graduated to 4 miles a day. At first I was running 3. But guess what? That negative spirit that I'm talking about right now, trying to get me to put it off to the next day, and I immediately jumped up. Now, I gotta go. And then when I left, guess what I did? I said, for that punishment, you got to run 5 miles instead of that 3. And I ran that 5 miles. And then guess what I told myself? I'm not going back to 3 no more. I'm staying on 4 with the goal of getting to 5. So whenever, that's what I do. Whenever that negative, lazy spirit come on me, it becomes a thought. Because, you know, thoughts become things, right? Thoughts become things, positive or negative. Listen to the OG. Thoughts become things, whether it's a positive or a negative, bro. And the negative thoughts, you don't want to become things, right? You don't want negative thoughts to become things. Because if you can see it in your head, you can see it in your hand, right? Negative thoughts. So when I get a negative thought, right, I automatically discipline myself. Automatically. I discipline myself. Whatever it might be, I discipline myself. You know what I'm saying? And then I take care of the situation. Then I let my subconscious mind know that every time you have a negative situation or a negative thought come through your head, you got to pay for that. And that's my whooping to myself. That's my whooping to myself. And I practice that. And guess what? After practicing that so long, guess what? I don't get that many negative thoughts come through my head. I really don't. Because guess what? I'm going to discipline myself. That's right. So try practicing that. You know what I'm saying? Set your goals. And then when you set your goals, and then when your mind say, well, I ain't got to do step 2 today. It's consequences for your mind to say that. It's consequences. If I don't do those goals, my daily goals every single day, it's consequences. That's how you change your mind. That's how you get out of darkness, bro. Just like that. You got to change your mind, and then you got to reprogram your mind, because the brain, bro, whether the brain is like a computer. Whatever you put in, that's what you're gonna get out. If you put in positivity, you're gonna push out positivity, and then you're gonna attract positivity. Listen to the OG. Whatever, and this is real talk, bro. If I think that's your name. Make sure you listen to what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Whatever positivity you put, that's the positivity you get back. If you always negative, and you always around negative people, and everything is always bitterness, frustration, mess, and gossip, you know what I'm saying? Guess what's gonna happen? If your life revolves around those things, always got an attitude, mess and gossip, always frustrated, always complaining, because that's a form of being in darkness too. Smoking cigarettes every doggone day, drinking every single day, etc., etc. Once you gonna attract that. That's what you gonna attract. Listen to the OG. But if you put positive things, hang around positive people, practice positive, try to be as positive as you can every single day. even though we human. But majority of the time, if it's a negative, guess what? I'm trying to switch it to a positive. I'm trying to change the narrative, and I'm trying to switch it over to a positive. And I practice that day by day, one day at a time. You have to practice that every single day. You got to write down your goals. Just think about it like this. It's billionaires, bro, that write their goals down every single day. If you got a job, if you work anywhere, guess what's on the wall? They got the time on the wall. They got the goals or what a production you got to meet. It's on the wall. So if they doing that in these billion-dollar businesses, why not do it in your personal life? Why not do that in your personal life? Why not do that on your personal life and take it day by day? Why not? And hold yourself accountable. Just like when you go on that job and they hold you accountable for however many hamburgers they got to push out, or however many hours you got to work, whatever, who got to clean up, the work, the cleaning detail, whatever goals they put on the wall at Jack in the Box, Whataburger, McDonald's, the warehouses, whatever you're doing, if you're working on a building, it's goals and stuff that they got on the wall. So if they are doing that, right, we should be doing that in real life. Listen to the OG. You got to be doing that in real life. Some people say, well, man, write my goals down. That's, and I thought like that. Oh, that was corny, because my grandpa and my mama they made me write all this down. Like when I was young, I had to write down the days of washing dishes, the days I had to take out the trash. You know what I'm saying? They call it chores. That was wrote down on the wall. Monday, the trash go out. You got to make sure you take the trash out. Well, I thought that was corny when I was young, but that goes in real life. Until my daddy sat me down and told me, he said, look, son, bro. Well, he didn't say bro because they didn't talk like that. He says, look, son, these companies that we go eat at, these companies that you work for, just look, they got goals rolled down. Why not? And I've been writing my goals down and stuff ever since I was a kid. All my goals is on the wall. And I look at them every single, it holds you accountable. If you miss one, right, that throws off the whole day. If I miss one thing on my wall, it throws off my whole day. You know what I'm saying? And then I got to turn around and then I got to redo it. You know what I'm saying? But it's always tomorrow. Start all over fresh. You got to start all over fresh. That's the only way you're going to get out of that darkness. You already done the first part. The first part was acknowledge you in darkness. The second part is now you got to change. You change your mind. And ain't nothing more powerful than that. Then you got to cut some people off. You got to put the footwork in. And you know what I'm saying? You can't, if you want to get out of darkness, I'm going to tell you this right here. If you want to get out of darkness, you cannot keep on hanging around the same people. I don't care what nobody tell you. You cannot, listen to the OG. If you want to get out of that darkness and go into the light, you cannot keep hanging around the same people. You can't in real life. You can't keep hanging around the same people. For an example, if you want to get off that block, right? If you want to get off that block, you can't keep going to that block. You got to stop it. You got to quit going to that block. You got to hang around a whole nother area. You might have to move if you can. But you cannot, if you want to change, you cannot play both sides of the fence. Either you is or you ain't. Ain't no in between. Ain't no in between. Listen to the OG. Either you're going to be on this side or you're going to be on that side. There is no in between when it comes to getting yourself out of darkness and coming in to the light. You didn't go in detail what the darkness is, but I can go in any kind of element. You ain't got to tell me. I already can think about it in my head which way how it go. If I don't want to go back to prison, you know what I'm saying? What I got to do? I got to stop hanging. I got to stop being around, putting myself in the position where it's going to put me back in prison. If I want to quit smoking cigarettes, I got to stop smoking cigarettes. I can't be around nobody that's smoking cigarettes because that's going to give me that urge. If I want to stop smoking weed, whatever the case may be. If I want to stop being a bully, you know what I'm saying? It's just things you got to do to work on your mind. You got to put the work in and you got to put down the actions. And ain't nothing more powerful than to change mind. That question came in here. I just got to keep going on about that. Was that it came in here and said something, and that fits the episode 6 of today. One day, take it one day at a time. That fit this episode, man. I hope that help you, man. I hope that help you. Straight up. But you're gonna have to change some things. And some people gonna be upset. I can't say that enough. There's gonna be some haters. The people who you was hanging around with, it's gonna be some haters. And they're gonna be trying to say, they're gonna talk down about what you're doing to try to make you feel bad. Like for an example, let's say if I was hanging on the block a lot, I'm always on the block or whatever. I'm with my boys on the block. But I say, man, you know what? I want something more than hanging out on this block all the time. I want to stop hanging out on the block. All of a sudden, I don't go to the block no more. Guess what's gonna happen? My partners, the dudes who I always on the block with, they gonna be wanting to know why you ain't hanging out on the block no more. And then they might say, oh, you a lame. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the famous words these days. They might say, oh, you a lame. Oh, you a lame. I always knew you a nerd. And then you go hang around with people that don't hang on the block. You go hang around with people that don't smoke cigarettes. You go hang around the people, you know what I'm saying, that's trying to do the right thing. The people who you just got away from, guess what they gonna do? They gonna call you a lame, and they gonna call you a nerd. Oh, you wanna hang out with the nerds. They might even start laughing and joking, trying to make you, that's that evil spirit, trying to pull you back. That crab in the barrel mentality, that's what that be. That be that evil spirit trying to pull you back inside of that crab in the bucket mentality. Yeah. And you know, some people get caught up and end up going right back into that crab in the barrel mentality. That's why I'm telling you, that's what you're gonna be facing. And they'll try to make you feel bad, make you feel like you ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? That's what they'll do. They'll try to make you feel like you ain't cool. But I'm here to tell you, listen to the OG. If you trying to get away from that, guess what? You cool, you smart, you very, very intelligent. Because then guess what you do? After you change and you move away and you come into the light, and then your buddies or whoever, see how they is at 40, 50 years old after you done changed. And they like I was just talking about the other week. It's a shame, go over there to MLK and this dude's 50 years old still sitting on that crate that was sitting on that same crate when we was in our 20s. That's a shame, bro. Now that's what's lame to me. That's what's lame. And that's what's dumb. You was on that block when you was 20, now you 50 and you still sitting on that same exact crate at the same exact spot under the same exact tree. You've been sitting there stagnant for 30 years. And then when I ride by and chuck up the dudes, and I start, hey, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Asking me to buy him some cigarettes. Or asking me to buy him some beer. Of course I do it, but at the same time, I'm like, dang, if you'd have just changed your mind, you wouldn't be sitting on that crate on MLK. That's a sad situation to see, bro. I ain't even lying, y'all. That's a sad situation, man, to see somebody just stuck in darkness, just stuck there and content with being on that crate, on that same block, up under that tree on MLK. That's a sad situation, bro. I got to turn around now, but that's a sad situation. You know what I'm saying? It really is. But that's the end of the walk down, man. It was a good discussion today. It's a good discussion. You know what I'm saying? Great discussion. Let me see where you at. It's Reaper Lloyd. I hope you was listening to the whole thing. I hope you understood exactly on what I did to come out of darkness. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna have to change some people, places, and things. You're just gonna have to do that. That comes with the game. That comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? And some people ain't gonna like it, man. Some people ain't gonna like it. And it ain't them personal, you know, it ain't them as the person, that's just the spirit, right? That's another thing you got to realize. You cannot take it out on the person. You gonna have to realize that ain't them. That's that negative spirit that's inside of them. That's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep it pushing. And you got to pray for them, that God will bring them to get them to change their mind. That's right. But and don't forget them. At least, you gotta, but you can't go back around them until you fully have changed. And you go back around them, but when you go back around them, you go back around them just to bless them. You know what I'm saying? Just to bless them, and then you go about your business. You know what I'm saying? By then, your mind, body, and spirit will be strong enough, you know what I'm saying, to withstand. But you don't stay there that long to get affected by the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? But I hope that helped you out, man. This is episode 6 of the Walk Down. You got to take it day by day, one day at a time. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me. I appreciate you, ATM, Tim, Scott Norris. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that came in. Miss Mimi Roberts. Braden, Ilback, DB. I appreciate y'all for coming and rocking with me, man. If share the video, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that probably need to hear it broke down like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you're really trying to change, you can't hang around the same people and expect change. All that's gonna do is prolong, right? It's already a long process. It ain't easy, bro. I'm gonna say that right now. But it'll make it easier if you especially if you're around those type of people. You're gonna have to change your company that you keep. And sometimes it might be your own family. And that's tough. But you got to do it, man. So with that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all. And with that being said, this is the Stock Sniper. I'm out.